we're going to walk through Star Wars and try to give you, in an alternate universe, 3 movies that were possible that the crowd may have gotten. They probably were happy with that we didn't get it in the bad timeline.
May I ask something first?
Mm-hmm.
Where does the Lucas stuff stop and where do we pick up?
So Lucas ended right at Return of the Jedi. It's done.
Yeah, that's where that ends. And we will be pulling a bunch of stuff from Legends because Legends was cool as shit. And it's a shame that it was decanonized, even though there's a lot that probably did deserve to die down there.
Of course.
And we're going to be trying to incorporate some stuff from the new trilogy because there was a handful of things that were really cool ideas that they completely failed to execute.
Yeah.
But on the broad scope of things, you get to the end of Return of the Jedi, you branch off into canon we got and canon we're making.
That's it. So I'm going to be Filoni, Table's going to be Favreau, and we're going to fix this shit for you. And we start with, of course, Episode 7, which you guys would know as The Force Awakens, but we're rewriting that as The Dark Force Rising.
The Force hasn't fucked off, it's just getting evil again.
It's just getting evil again. So, you'd have your opening scroll, but it would explain everything that happened in the previous 30 years. You can't fill in too many gaps because you need to streamline Star Wars, and that's the fun thing with Star Wars. You could kind of just fill in your own gaps, or people could just add lore as things go along, right? You're having your time skips, you can fill in betweens. So
most of it's an open book.
Exactly. So in our timeline here, in the past 30 years, Luke did not create a new Jedi school. He decided to not pursue that idea in the fact that the Sith are still out there. So it's best to go find those roots and deroot. Luke, in our version, became a Sith hunter extraordinaire and practically a solo Jedi, because remember, he is pretty much the last one at the moment.
The man, the myth, the legend, the cryptid Luke Skywalker.
That's right. Exactly. In Dark Force Rising, we'd have old man Luke, we'd have old man Han, the old crew, old Leia, old Lando, Chewie, and your droids, 3PO and R2-D2. They would be more of the minor set because, well, they're old, right? So, I mean, you kind of have to move on.
Yeah.
So
they feature more in Episode 7 than they do in the later films for that transitional quality.
Exactly. So we'd go off with Episode 7 and we'd focus still with the same idea of Finn turning, well, in our timeline, it's no longer the First Order. We went with the Second Imperium because the First Order sounds fucking stupid.
It's literally not first.
Yeah.
It never was first.
It never was first.
It's like Xbox One.
Right? But what do you mean? It was the Xbox that I bought back in the day. That's not one? I don't get it.
What was that
That's
one?
not the one.
Right. So, Second Imperium, because it's the second go for the Imperials, right? After their defeat, though, they were regulated to the Outer Rim planets. That's where they got all those kids from to make new stormtroopers.
Okay.
So in Episode 7, we'd still focus on Finn, who would be running away from his stormtrooper duties. But in our version, he's super important to bring back because stormtroopers are fed sensitive information that could lead to the defeat of the dark side and the Second Imperium. Naturally, he'd be fugitive number 1 for these guys, right?
He's out there with state secrets.
Yeah. He would make contact with the rebellion, trying to find someone to kind of come pick him up. Someone like Poe, who's now on a mission like, I'll go rescue this guy since he's calling out, he's on a secret beacon trying to get rescued. He's probably got sensitive information, right? Let's take our chances. Poe, in that sense, is pretty much a maverick. He will take that chance because you never know. A win's a win in his book. So
Poe's big issue with the storyline in the way it was played was as if he was a rookie pilot who's getting his wings and making bad calls. No, he's experienced and he knows exactly what he can pull off and he's going to pursue it even if everyone else tells him he can't.
He's a goddamn seasoned gun, so he's going to do it anyways. So that meeting of Finn and Poe still happens and they will escape and we'll still use Jakku as our main base camp of things. Keep it nice and simple for now. Right. Desert planet for now,
escapes
right?
Jakku.
Right. For the fun part, most of A New Hope took place on Tatooine, if not for almost the whole entire fucking movie until they got to the Death Star. So, hey, I mean, Jakku it is, right? It is one of their strongholds. And so Poe would go down there, try to, meet up with Finn. They would also send out a beacon because Luke is a hope in the, in the galaxy. So hopefully, he can reach out that mythical legend of Luke Skywalker. Maybe he can come and help defeat the Second Imperium. Luke's against that idea because he's like, I got other things to do.
He's like, I actually deal with Force shit. Those are normal people.
Yeah.
Fix their own problems.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I can't ignore this shit. So he wouldn't answer the call at first. So we'd still have someone like Phasma focus on returning Finn back to the Second Imperium for reconditioning. Enter Karnor Jax, who is now the Emperor's right-hand man. So you know how Palpatine had Vader, right? Our Emperor Gallius Rax has Karnor Jax. Rax and Jax as they go, right? Karnor Jax would be a red armored, probably in the new Sith, like red troop armor, dressed up like Phasma, with the cape and everything, right? Very special. Not really a Sith Lord, but Sith,
But still
The notes as a
considered,
Sith menace.
yeah, Sith pointed, you know what I mean?
but still very much considered the ruling of two.
Yeah, exactly, right? No red lightsabers or anything, but practiced in using the Force, dark side of the Force anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So he'd be on the hunt for Luke, because if you're out there killing Sith, well, guess what? I go and hunt you back.
Hunter becomes the hunted.
Hunted. In between all that stuff, though, you have a young Jason Solo, son of Han Solo and Leia. And, of course, he'd be exactly how Kylo Ren is, young student. He's probably the one and only student of Luke at the time.
He got stuck with babysitting duties.
Exactly.
It happens.
Because their kid's Force sensitive, so I was like, yeah, I'll teach you the ways of the Force. But, Luke is very wary of the dark side, so he decided not to pursue any further training, so he kind of leaves that behind.
He's him hanging a little.
Yeah, Jason Solo furthers his own practice as he goes along and Force attunes himself anyways. In the long scheme of things, the war rages and there's casualties. Jason's very Force sensitive to all that stuff. He cares about family and friends. And so
He's got a
for
big
him,
heart.
Exactly, family. And so for him, doing the light side of things isn't really cracking it. And so he further interested in doing dark side stuff, but doesn't know exactly where to focus that yet. He's not even sure if it's the right idea. He just feels like the dark side powers are more
Enter Carnor Jack.
who feels this now and is like, I will instead kidnap this kid and turn him over to the
Check out
Emperor.
this vulnerable child over here.
Yeah. So in hot pursuits, Finn now with Poe, they would go off. They meet up with Luke because just happenstance on Jakku. Luke had to end up on Jakku because he's hunting back Sith. His Sith journey takes him to Carnor Jax. So it's all full circle here. He bumps into Finn. He's like, okay, well, if that's the case, we got to get you to my sister because your information is super needed.
Not my problem, but important.
So I'll escort you there. And if there's any trouble along the way, I can handle it.
Finn's primary antagonist for this first one, and as the series progresses, is going to be Phasma, who becomes the face of the Empire. And Luke's not looking to be involved in the Second Imperium fight, but he assists as much as he needs to try and get Finn past Phasma and off Jakku.
He feels something from Finn, but not quite sure what to make of it. There's something there, a small spark, nothing huge.
Are they going to be roommates? Are they going to be best friends? Or
No.
Not so much. But Poe and Finn getting mad close. So damn close that you could mistake it for something else.
So no relationships in new Star Wars. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't
they
do
might
love,
be
but
roommates for a time.
for a time, but we let fans decide what you want to happen on screen. It's your romance.
They were wingmen.
Right?
each
Pick your own
other.
adventure. That's
Yeah.
right. Anyways, the team has to be split up. Luke has to take Finn away off planet back to wherever Leia's being held up. Politics are happening. What we are going to mention, though, is that in Luke's spacefaring adventures, he is somewhat of a gigolo and has met his way through with a woman named Mara Jade, and he has sired a son named Ben, who from time to time he has taught ways of the Force, but doesn't connect with him very close because he's afraid of the dark influence that the Skywalkers have.
He's got the vibes that, oh, we don't do father-son relationships well. I shouldn't try, idiot.
That's right. So to answer Leia's call to kind of go meet up with Luke, they send Ben Solo and a new female apprentice that has just joined the fold under Ben and Mara Jade's wing. Her name still stands as Rey, but her last name is already established, and she's just a Kenobi, and we're leaving it at that.
10-4.
Not a fucking Palpatine. Take
None of
that
that shit.
idea, put it in a little ball, and set that ball on fire.
Oh, see, I
thing
was,
with-
gonna, I was gonna do something else with it, but yeah.
Yeah. The thing with Rey is we're going to rewrite her and turn her into practically a Jaina Solo-esque and a new accessible character, because at the end of the day, aside prequel era series, there wasn't very many female Jedi in media.
No.
Right.
And so I still
No.
believe Rey being that focus is still a very positive focus.
And also
Right?
being an important successor to the Jedi that Leia could have became.
The Force likes to run in a full circle, and so I feel like Obi-Wan taking care of both Anakin and then later on Luke, it just feels like Luke
They owe him at
stumbling
this
upon,
point.
You know, him being the elder to a younger, it just felt that way. So after that group splits, Carnor now confronts Mara Jade, Ben, Rey, and Jason, 4 prominent Jedi and 1 Sith user who's no slouch, okay? And so one by one, he dispatches and puts them all down one by one. Not killing them outright, because he believes if he can take them and sway them, you got more Sith users and then we get stronger. Carnor is kind of a renegade. He has his own ambitions, if you think
He's not
about it.
taken as a full apprentice anyway, so fuck the
Exactly.
Banite theories.
Exactly.
Right.
So he dispatches one one by one until he confronts Jason, who then is starting to be influenced by Karnor's words, joining the dark side. And Mara, being the only one who's very skilled, still stands. In the last moments, in his hesitation, Jason decides to succumb to the dark side and kill his auntie while his cousin and his apprentice are knocked out, and decides to not only join Karnor Drax, but kill Karnor Drax right away and just take his place.
Yes. He goes, I like your ideas. They're mine now, and so is your job.
And thus he would report back to Emperor Gallius Rax. So now you have the switch of someone who's rebellion, who's got a lot of sensitive information, with someone from the Second Imperium with sensitive information, and we're crossing sides. And so the war rages on. And so how we end this film is Luke feels his wife perish from the Force, feels that agony, takes Finn, drops him off to Leia, tells Leia that he's going to stick around, forget Sith hunting. He feels that the Sith is growing inside the Empire. It's there. So he's sticking around. Finn, still a huge fugitive on the run. He's now public enemy #1, but kind of a hero amongst the rebellion, as was written, right? And we'd end it there with poor young Ben Skywalker pissed at his cousin, and Rey Kenobi now practicing more so that she is way more skilled. Do you remember how Qui-Gon felt to Darth Maul?
And Obi-Wan decided that he was going to actually become one of the best lightsaber fighters in the history of the Jedi. Yeah, that.
Wait, Rey's gonna do the same fucking thing.
So, movie 1 over.
Yes.
I like how we have a big major character death in movie 1.
Thank you.
But it's still a character that got introduced in movie 1, but it's still meaningful.
The other thing I really like so far, while we have a refreshing sprinkle of new characters, you haven't killed old ones yet.
Not yet.
Yet is the operative word there, buddy.
Both a reintroduction of the franchise for new audiences and a legacy feature in itself.
And it's not supposed to be a kick in the teeth the way The Force Awakens was deliberately, or the way The Last Jedi was even more deliberately.
I was gonna say, like, connecting to that, where it's like Rise of Skywalker was just like, oh, there's so much potential, and like, oh, this could be fixed. But it's just like, no, not everything's really fixed, and nothing was really potentially touched upon.
One of the problems with The Force Awakens is you drew up a lot of cool characters, and then did absolutely El Squado fucking with them. All right, movie 2, opening credits.
Episode 8, which you know as the very divisive Last Jedi, but in our universe, it's called Shadows of the Empire.
Sorry, before you go on with that title.
Yes. Take your money. Thank you. I can't take credit for that because that is a used title for a really dumb story, but a really cool game. It's no longer canon, so I can use it.
And also, it's cool.
That's free real estate, baby.
So the opening scroll says, the Second Imperium forces keep growing. There's no answer as to how, but forces keep growing.
They don't know how it's changed. It just keeps going.
There are more Sith users showing up one by one, and Luke is now running out of time to dispatch each one. Turned on the training for both Ben and Rey, and he's now trying to look for more Force-sensitive users. He keeps putting his eyes on Finn, but Finn keeps saying, like, yo, bro, your weird church shit freaks me out, and I want no part of it.
Keep your wizard shit to yourself.
I'm just a fugitive, and I really, really don't want to show my face too much anyways. And so Luke's trying to, convince him about, like, learning a power, but Finn's very pacifist. He doesn't want a power. He just kind of wants to get away from it all. Luke also has an inkling of an heritage for where Finn may come from, coming from the Outer Rims. Luke says, well, if you're not going to join me, I'll do a bit of investigation anyways and see if I can find out some information about your life.
Right. Let's go on a parentage trip.
Right, exactly. So throughout their adventures now, the Second Imperium moves on in. Rebellion forces are now getting weaker by the day. Jason has now become a Dark Lord. He has now adopted the name Darth Caedus. 1, to cool as shit, and 2, to honor his fucking late grandfather. Well, now Darth Caedus is like, well, hey, guess what, guys? I know where my mommy and daddy live, so follow me. We're gonna go fuck their shit up. In his plea, because he believes, hey, I work with Emperor Gallius Rax. He's showing me these dark powers. I'm now powerful. Listen, Mom, Dad, just fold, man. If you follow me, we can actually make peace happen.
Right.
It'll be fine.
And Han is just like, no, that's subjugation, and we don't do that here. We do freedom of will. Being the Dark Lord that he is, Jason decides to end his parents right there. Thus, signifying exactly that the rebellion is dead, or is it? Young heroes like Rose Tico and Poe Dameron are now showing their faces and becoming the new heroes of the fucking rebellion.
Right.
Stepping up.
Yes, Rose is not just there to just kiss Finn at the end of the fucking thing. She does stuff.
For no reason, yeah.
She's a gunner, she's an engineer, she does stuff. Jason now is on the hunt for his uncle because, well, can't have Jedi running around, as Table likes to mention sometimes. Too many Jedi is a bad thing. right?
They just make a mess. They just make a fucking mess.
True. No, I 100% agree. And even it really smells like there only needs to be about 8 Jedi, and that's about it. And then
But
Padawans, and that's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
In Luke's pursuit of investigating, he comes across like the evil, like the bad guys are coming from, pretty much, right? So, Table, did you dig up a giant space weapon for me that the Empire so loves using so much?
I've dug up something that's finally disappears, theoretically speaking, to ABY, a hyperspace nullifier.
All right.
Because how do you control your fucking empire better than by managing every road through space
There it
and
is.
killing everyone else?
Thank you very much.
You can go
So-
visit your super far neighbors without our hyperlanes. It'll just take you
A long
billion
time.
years. Have fun.
Of course, the Empire likes flying giant space weapons, so this one is a giant space weapon that's a hyperspace nullifier. Like she said, we nullify your shit, you can't travel, and then we shoot you at the sky. Easy breezy, like Duck Hunt. So Luke's journey takes him to that same space station. What did you want to call it?
Oh god, I didn't pick a name. My head is just saying the space TSA. Something like the Pax Imperia.
Ooh, I like that. That stands. I take that. Luke's journey takes him there. And of course, being the badass pilot that he is, he starts blasting TIE fighters out the sky. Bam, bam, bam. Pew, 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 pew.
And then I started blasting.
Exactly.
And that's our blasting. Pulling a Han Solo maneuver, he attaches his X-Wing to the back of that giant ship and kind of lays low until they can't recognize that he's there. Then he'll make a second move once the fleet kind of clears out. He can kind of maneuver himself into the ship anyways. Like good old Obi-Wan, he sneaks himself around that facility trying to find some information. On the other side of things, however, Jason's still hunting down Rebellion, even on their base planet. What planet do you want to use? Where would you think the Rebellion would station themselves nowadays? I mean...
Yavin would be ceremonial.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big battle. Yeah.
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 So they chase him down to Yavin, where they start cutting down rebellion forces. The only ones to keep surviving are Poe, Rose, and Finn, along with Ben and Rey, who then find out that Luke, he's found their main station, but instead of helping the rebellion, they decide to go fuck off and help Luke go kill more Sith because they believe they're ready. On their run, though, they confront Jason. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right?
I'm like, Force users.
Force
Cousin.
users. Cousin, come with me. Come on, be smart. And you, Rey, I can turn you. Let's go. And they're like, not having it. So they decide to fight. But guess what? They lose. Enter Finn and Rose, though, who start gunning things down, trying to keep them away from Rey and Ben lying there, right? And then you have Phasma, who shows up because she's still in hot pursuit of Finn, who has to save face, capture Finn here or else, right?
A and B
Yep.
plus
So she's
come
trying-
together. Yep.
Right. So she's trying her best and everything, right? In that hot pursuit, though, the gang splits up. Poe decides, hey, Finn, follow me, Rose. We take BB-8, Chewie, the droids, and we get the fuck out of here. Save what we can, right?
I like how
Well, these two...
BB-8 is in this one by name. Excellent. Thank you.
BB-8 survives, yes.
He's just there. Well, they go run off in Han's Millennium Falcon because someone's got to pilot that thing.
It's true.
Han's dead, right?
Yeah.
And so they will try to meet with Lando at another post where they can be a little more safe, right?
Is this post happen to be a planet we named on an episode?
You know
No.
what? No.
But you thought of it?
You know what? I wanted to, but hey, man,
That
Planet Negris,
seems like stroking our own dick.
it's a bit
Yes,
too much.
that's one word
You
for
know,
it.
Yeah.
I figured he would resurrect the Cloud City of Bespin because he liked that place a whole lot.
You know who's not going to be on Bespin for long?
Lando Calrissian.
What the fuck are you guys
Yeah.
doing, Lando?
They were followed.
By a one Captain Phasma who is not letting the... Mhm.
Lando let one empire fuck with his city because it was the right thing to do, and it backfired on him because Vader doesn't keep deals. He's not making the same mistake twice.
Right.
Again, they try to defend themselves.
Jason ain't
Yeah.
having it.
Instead of pursuing with Phasma, he decides to go follow his uncle and defeat his uncle once and for all. And so Ben and Rey decide to follow him. And so again, all Jedi in one place against the Sith Lord, and we have a rebellion taking care of their thing. Phasma is seasoned gun and a very skilled fighter. And
Right. She's no slouch.
she's taking out rebel soldiers and whoever she can, trying to get Finn. And Finn keeps telling everybody, you know what? If I don't confront her now, she's not going to stop pursuing, and that's going to be more people dying. And so he decides to face her one-on-one. And he holds his own, but ultimately, in the end, she puts him down, but doesn't kill him. But in a last-minute save, Lando comes out of nowhere and saves the kid. Phasma puts her fucking chromium spear through his chest. Lando dies in the Millennium Falcon as they try to escape. We say goodbye to Lando, but he gives them a tip-off. There's one base that the Empire doesn't know we have that can help you out. You may have a chance. Go there. We're going back to Endor.
Excellent.
And so they decide to head their way there to kind of regroup and fight back. So on the other side of things now, Jason is now in hot pursuit of his uncle on his own home base. Confront him right then and there. Exactly. Jason's like, hey man, one-on-one, bro. And so Luke's like, all right, man, listen, think you're something else. You took your grandpappy's lightsaber from my hold. You put your dumb red crystal in there. I want that shit back. That's insulting. And Jason's like, fuck you, uncle. I hate you, man. Right? That shit-ass fight you saw in The Last Jedi doesn't happen here. It's a full-on fight, okay? And in the end, I'm sorry to say, but Luke loses. Damn it. But only because he has to make the sacrifice play to make sure his son and his new apprentice Rey get the fuck out of here. When his robes and his lightsaber drop, Ben pulls everything right to him with the Force, cloak and all. These are my
Yoink.
dads. Fuck you. Yeah.
These will never belong to you.
So they run off. Phasma comes back, ultimately without her goal. Yeah, Jason says, fuck this. I am tired of this shit. I'm gonna go wipe out these two Last Jedi before they get really rowdy. So Phasma, guess what? The shit's in your fucking hands, okay?
You deal with this shit. I got idiots to kill.
And thus, we close credits on that. The bad guys gaining everything, the good guys losing everything, and everything,
then
everybody
some.
in hot pursuit. And so we
Okay.
get rid of the old cast, and we focus on the new cast, and some droids, and some new Jedi. Before we get to the last chapter, however, anything you guys want to throw in there?
I like that we still have the droids around.
I was gonna say, I want to know another one of the like recurring things is Finn's weirdly lucky. Like he's just consistently lucky in his encounters. Not lucky on a big scale, but in terms of like personal circumstances, shit tends to go his way.
Yeah. He seems to be, he
But-
might be, let's just say, Force ignorant, if you will.
My other question is, you brought him up, so I want to talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Will you at any point in time be talking about the Gungans?
No, the Gungans live
No.
on Naboo and they're isolationists. They don't want to leave
Yeah.
Naboo. We don't go to Naboo. They don't come up.
Yeah, we never go back to Naboo.
Don't go to
man.
Naboo. Don't talk about Naboo.
That's right.
Welcome to-
Yeah,
Don't go to
so
Naboo. That's where the Gungans are.
Welcome to Gungan Fight Club.
Jeez.
Right? We don't talk about it. That brings us to the finale of it all. Let's see how you feel about the last
I'm
one
here.
now.
Uh-oh.
I think I might know where it goes, but like I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
All right. So
We're stealing a title again for episode 9.
That doesn't matter.
but it's not
ours.
but it's not so much a title really. It's a title from one of the songs, and of course we call the last one episode 9 Duel of Fates, because now evil and good must face each other for the last time. Both Ben and Rey have become now highly skilled Jedi who are now young, very more mobile, and very much more mirroring that of the fabled gray Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
Not
mind
like
they don't mind
The fan ideas, by the way, the actual ones from the books. Fuck you.
where they don't mind the hot pursuit of some dark side things.
They're not just Jedi who can fuck.
Yeah, right. They are capable of doing some things.
Some nasty
it's-
Yeah.
stuff.
So now they decide to go pursue Jason back. So to kind of rebalance things, they decide we're gonna go to the planet of Mortis, where the Force kind of was birthed from,
Right.
and kind of find out what to do from here out. The Force is giving us questions that we need to find answers to. We just don't know where to find the answers. So maybe Mortis is where it's at. It's one of their stops before they go confront Jason, because hey, before we go, maybe this is supposed to be the end of the Jedi. Maybe the Sith is supposed to live, or maybe it's vice versa.
You know what I
Yeah,
did
they
the
want to
planet
know
will tell
the
us.
truth at the core, man.
You know what I did notice in the 2 and ish movies we talked about thus far?
Mhm.
We haven't gone to a casino at any point.
Not here.
It's almost like it's fucking ridiculous.
Also,
Right?
Poe's not going to randomly become a drug runner.
And exactly in our vision here, since Han and Leia have both fell, Poe is
He's
now the
running the
leader of
fucking
the rebellion, who has now made Finn a general, along with Rose. So the Holy now what's left of the rebellion. Ben and Rey, they end up on Mortis. They go in the search. They end up at the center of a Force-like church. For those of you who watched Star Wars, do you remember in Empire Strikes Back? Do you remember Darth Vader's meditation chamber?
Yes, I
Right.
do. Yep.
His little thing, he's sitting there,
Uh,
whatever. Yeah. That meditation chamber is literally for him to amplify his Force use, to kind of like do his searching, if you will, looking for Luke and all that. He can kind of amplify his range and kind of look around the galaxy. Think of this church on Mortis as the same idea, but for Jedi. They are now in there and they want to know what's going on. They need to find some answers. And that little epicenter tells them, concentrate and think, and you'll find the answers. To which they do, and it tells them, hey, you've just now sent out a beacon to Force-sensitive users across the galaxy. So now they're like, well, we set up the beacon. Jason back at home base is like, I know where these fuckers are. I'm gonna go get them.
Excellent.
Right?
Jason being like, Did they mean to include me in this group chat?
Jason's about to go fuck with his Argonauts anyway.
Jesus.
Meanwhile, Phasma now in full on control tells. You guys remember General? Remember Hux? Remember he's still a guy. He's
Sure
still
do.
there. He does things.
Bitch boy.
Right. So she's now control of the Second Imperium. She's making advancements on the rebellion. Rebellion, of course, still fighting back. They're now on the planet of Endor, not the moon, but the planet, and they're using whatever's left of the stockhold that Lando told them about. They have one major weapon, probably one of the Star Wars fans' most favorite weapons, and you see it maybe a couple of times only. Do you remember Sonic charges?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Table does. That sound, you never forget that sound the first time, right? Well, it's those charges that came out of Boba Fett Slave 1. And then the sound goes out, the Sonic goes off, the sound goes off after. It's a bunch of those.
I believe that ship has been renamed.
No, we're not calling it
it's
that. It's Slave 1.
Okay.
Not Boba Fett Starship. We're not calling that shit. Stupid. That's stupid. It's
Okay.
Slave 1, okay?
Yeah.
Slave 1. Done. So it's a bunch of those kind of weapons, reformatted and for use. And in that hot pursuit, they take down the main forces anyway, and decide to, hey, we won't kill Phasma. We will unmask her, and we'll put her on trial, as all things should be. Except for war crimes, and we restore the New Republic. And they do.
This is how you
Those
do
who they don't,
democracy.
the rest of the remnants will disperse. And that will leave you for further adventures into the galaxy far away. We can use these guys to go capture more Stormtrooper remnants and carry on and so on and so forth, right? So that's the end of the Empire, Second Imperium, to which, hey, Gallius Rax is like, you know what? I don't even care about this anyways. I'm only in hot pursuit for the fucking, these kids. I need Jedi kids to turn to Sith. I can wipe out the Second Imperium and start this all over again. I just did it before, I can do it again. And what he means by that is because he reveals to Jason that he has been Palpatine the entire time. No,
we have answers here. It's not somehow.
I understand you have answers, but as of this point, you have not revealed them. So you bitch this whole stream of being somehow Palpatine returns, and then you played that card.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
See, in Legend, he persisted through deeply evil science and being a bitch-ass ghost, and we're going with that here.
Excellent.
He's been using all these puppet bodies, Force Essence, one by one. Every time the body deteriorates, because it's a clone body, he jumps to a new model every time.
So
right?
what I'm hearing is
Gallius
could have been a
Rax
Snoke or two, and then gone, haha. Hey, young fertile.
Later.
This one, however, this body, however, that he gathered was a lucky one, because it lasted him quite some time. So he's been.
Normally they burn out.
Think if you could picture Ian McDiarmid, i.e. Palpatine, if he was a young man, this is what you're getting, and no one recognizes because they only recognize Palpatine as an old man.
Crusty old man.
So they had no idea, right? So he confronts this truth to Jason, much like Palpatine did to Anakin back in the office room, same way, right?
Oh.
And he's just like, I, Jason Skywalker, was a puppet this entire time? No, this can't be. Right?
Shocked Kermit face.
To which now
Shocked
Ben
Pikachu.
and Rey now confront them all. Yeah. As well, now the Emperor and fucking Jason are on the planet. They now have to face off. So now it goes down by blood. Jason now faces off with his cousin Ben, while Rey now takes on Palpatine, as all things should be.
Look, Obi-Wan never got his shot at Palpatine. Rey's gonna do it for him.
That's right. Exactly. Thank you for that. So in the end of it all now, Jason and Ben fight. Ben doesn't want to kill his cousin. He's just like, listen, man, you fell. You done some bad shit, man. Maybe I could get you to repent and change your shit, but I can't fully forgive you, man. And Jason's
I'll
like,
actually
no,
never get over you killing all 4 of our parents. What the fuck?
Parents,
Yeah,
right?
how fucking rude of you.
Exactly. Jason's like, I've gone too far, and I want to make peace in the galaxy, but my version of peace. And Ben's just like, well, sorry, bro, but in the time frame between now and then, I've become way better with the fucking blade. As you're out there getting more emo, I studied the blade.
I went to sword class.
That's right.
It was
So they face off
studied
again.
the katana.
And much like how Anakin disarmed fucking Count Dooku, Jason gets disarmed by Ben.
Ma,
no more hands for
no
you, Jason.
hands.
No hands. Jason, I'm sorry, man. I gotta stop you. And Jason, of course, falls and screams like his grandfather did, you know.
And
then
also,
he
you have continued the legacy of Skywalker children losing appendages.
That's right.
They're not good at
But
holding on to limbs.
Exactly.
They're like Lego men.
In the end, Ben tells him, reasons why he won't kill him, reasons why life is precious, and Jason's like, maybe I was wrong. Goes back to the light side of the Force. Until Gallius Rax is like, son of a bitch! Ah! Put a saber through your chest. It's over
I've
for you,
seen this
Jason.
shit
You're
before.
dead.
Absolutely
Yeah. Not happening again. You Skywalkers are weak ass bitches. I can't have none of this. Perhaps you, Kenobi. Maybe you. To which now the new, Ben and Rey fight the Emperor once and for all in his young body, juiced up from just killing Jason. He's got 2 blades like his old self used to be. They go down this badass battle. Ben gets hurt. Bam, bam. Knocked the fuck out. It's just down to Kenobi now. They fight. She pulls a nice little trick, puts a saber through him. The Emperor falls. He doesn't quite die just yet, though. We think he's dead. in a last minute second, Ray goes and runs over the bench, kind of wakes up, sees the Emperor come with the last minute move, and Ben's like, holy shit, give me your lightsaber. And he fucking force whirls that shit like Anakin does and fucking chops the dude in half like Darth Maul, we call it a day. Bam.
Damn.
And we're done here. And in the end of it all, Ben and Ray decided, hey, we're gonna open the Jedi Church here, the Jedi Praxis on this planet Mortis, because hey, it's force sensitive here, like crazy, right? It's kind of the best way to sort out, Gryffindor from Slytherin here. If you find some Sith, we can kind of turn them right away before they turn. We can change things.
Obvious, yeah.
That's mostly
Right,
a
we
different
can do
origin story. I went to the Jedi Temple. They rejected me. I was too evil. Boom, that's my trilogy.
There you go. In the epilogue, however, Ben visits Finn and tells him, "Hey, man, before my old man croaked, he kind of smuggled something in his pockets from that master base over there. And here, I think he wanted you to have this." Plugs it in and some information about his heritage, and so he's just like, "Huh, I've never heard this fucking planet called Mandalore, but I'll go visit it."
They have by this time recovered from the purges.
Right.
Please and thanks.
Basically, he goes and finds his heritage. He goes and he starts digging around, and it brings him to House Kryze, to which he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. They have some records here." I'm not saying it's concrete, but he may not be related to one Casca Reeves, a night owl under the watch of Bo-Katan Kryze. In that, he's like, "Okay, at least I know some of my origins," and that's all he needs,
Neat.
right? Maybe someone could write some more future stuff with it. Maybe not. We don't know. I don't know. But it's there. Poe continues to be a kick-ass pilot, takes the Millennium Falcon, and now since we're repairing the galaxy, he still fights the Empire, but he's not smuggles, but he transports goods and services to other planets who need them. The rest of the guys
Relief services.
Exactly, right? He's up with Chewie and Rose and the droids, and we have our thing. You make your own adventures with that. And here we are, man. That's the end of our Star Wars trilogy. We leave you with something that's got some finality to it, but it's got some open-ended stuff so you can play with, right?
Listen, I knew it was going to get finality when I knew the writers were going to be the same for all 3 fucking movies.
Thank you.
It's true.
For
Actually-
fucking starters, that's the biggest sin.
Maybe I should have gone into Star Wars with a plan. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, no shit. Well, we just did it for you. Bam.
So, Disney has this trilogy. Did you come up with a name for your trilogy?
First thought is
Yeah.
the correctable series, but shh.
What would Disney call
You have your prequel series, you have your prequel trilogy, you have your
Original.
original trilogy. Yeah. That's a good question, man. What would you call
I mean,
this
technically, this
trilogy?
would also be the sequel series, right?
Right.
Yeah, this would be the sequel
But,
trilogy. Yeah, for
you're
sure.
the writers. You get to call it whatever the fuck you want, and fans have to assign it to a canon.
That is true.
Shit, man.
And do you still call the whole thing the Skywalker saga?
Yes, it still is the Skywalker saga,
Yeah.
very much so.
We're still following that family.
Yeah, we are. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if you had ditched that name. That's all. Because I know
The
like
Skywalker
that's,
family
And-
soap opera.
that's the branding. That's all
Yeah.
of that. Yep.
It'd be either the final trilogy, the end. It's the end of it all, man. I wouldn't know what to call it as a trilogy as a whole. It'd be Disney-esque still, but maybe sequel. I don't know. I wouldn't call it sequel trilogy. I don't know. Yeah.
Sequel's just logical given what the other two are called.
So
yeah.
Star Wars is an ever-building franchise full of like spin-off movies now and mini-series. At this point in time, did all you plan was 3 movies, or were you throwing in a
Yes.
series?
The trick is to stay self-contained to start because other people have great ideas. And part of what makes Star Wars cool is that you get so many different creators pitching in to...
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Because
best to leave things a bit open-ended for other people to kind of play with. Star Wars is a giant toy box, man.
right. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right.
it. Yeah.
That's because we know that Disney is not going to make 3 movies and then be done with it.
No,
Star Wars is going to be
that's
the
a cash cow.
Exactly. So that's why
We'll
I
never
was just
escape.
thinking, oh, okay, there might be a spin-off that you just had a character to focus on.
Or there's potential to make more,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'd be interested in a Mandalorian-esque style version of the Phasm story.
Is that
Right,
just because she's
honestly.
also shiny?
That's very possible. My thought is
I'm
either you
sorry.
can tell some tales of some planets she went to and was behind the person she was chasing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or you tell where she lands after.
Right, like her going through the space court system. Do you know how much money I would pay to have a coherent understanding of politics in Star Wars?
Oh fuck! Good luck, man. What's a jurisdiction out there?
Exactly, I want to know. I need to know. How does a
You-
birth certificate work? If I'm born on a spaceship in like hyperspace, where am I born and where is my nationality? How do I file for that? Where do I pay taxes? Explain.
Wow, you in the first 25 minutes of episode 1 must get along swimmingly.
What you guys even trading? What do you guys manage? What's happening here?
Now she didn't argue. All right.
Oh man.
That sounds brilliantly more entertaining than what the fuck we got.
Oh, 100%.
Thank you.
Word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any wrap up for that?
I think our time has come.
Yeah.
I think
Beastie?
now that I got the story out there, it's over.
Mm-hmm. I want a Finn spin-off series. Give me
Understood?
that.
Understood.
And then
Understood.
boom.
Kathleen Kennedy him, so we'll give him a show and we'll give him something to do.
All right.
Yeah.
With that in mind, if you want to find our socials, we are on Twitter at Crusade Nerd, on Instagram at Nerd Crusade. You can find the Nerd Crusade podcast wherever you find our podcasts. You can find 2 other shows weekly on Twitch. Our Monday Night Mixer, which is usually our game for playing games of a mass variety. I imagine now that Pokemon's Diamond is going to get shuffled in there quite a bit. We also have a weekly nerd news show called the Itty Bitty Nerdy Committee, in which we all scour the interwebs and bring to you the latest and greatest from the news of pop culture. Once again, thank you all for joining us.
Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, go ahead and button mash a thumbs up. If you want to swing by when we have a new video, web up the sub button. Oh, and while you're at it, hit the bell to be notified. Bye.